Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. I have some fun mail to share with you all today. I got this in the mail and I am so excited to open it up. This is some fun mail, garden mail from Hoselink. You all know that I work with Hoselink. I've worked with them for quite a while now, a couple years now, and they are such a great company. I have retractable hoses all throughout my garden, and actually the company's coming to, well, I shouldn't say the company. A couple of them are coming to my property next month to film some educational videos on their new Evolve hose reel, which I think is going to be really, really fun. So this month they are having a special on their solar lights. If you didn't know, Hoselink, the retractable hose company, also sells solar lights, and really, really good solar lights. You can buy some really junky solar lights online. Trust me, I know, but the ones that Hoselink sells are like, kind of top of the line solar lights, which I think is fabulous. I have a bunch of them in my property already. I have a bunch of spotlights, some from my espalier, some from my big specimen trees back here, one on my October Glory maple in the backyard, and then I also have party string lights hanging over my backyard. If you didn't watch that installation, you should watch it, because that is probably one of my favorite installations I've done in this garden. I feel like it's made such a difference, especially at night, because they're solar, so they will automatically turn on as the sun, as the sun sets and it gets darker, and it's really, really fabulous. Now, probably the biggest question, or the most often question I get about my party string lights is, do they stay on for long enough? And the answer is absolutely yes. The batteries in the Hoselink solar lights, string lights, are bigger or more effective. I don't know, I'll put it on the screen right now, but they definitely last a lot longer than other string lights, solar string lights that I've used. And I definitely notice a difference between winter and summer. In summer, the sun is up for so long that the solar battery must get so much juice to it that in the morning when I wake up, because I usually wake up really, really early in the summer to beat the heat, the solar lights are still on in the morning. Now in the winter time, when the sun's not up for as many hours, it doesn't last through the night. I'll wake up and they'll be off, but I'm not gonna, I don't care if they last through the night. I'm totally fine if they fade halfway through the night, especially during the winter time. But that's probably the most common question I get about these solar lights. So anyway, Hoselink is having a sale this month, a really good sale. I'll put the details in the description down below, but they asked me if I wanted some more solar lights to show you guys and to install on my property. And of course I said yes. So I got 3 different kinds of solar lights this time, different than I had used before. And I'm really excited because I think I was just thinking ahead, and I decided to get some pathway lights, which I've never had before. I've never had pathway lights before. And I decided to get these guys. So you guys have probably seen these before, but these are motion activated solar lights. I know Erin from Impatient Gardener has used these for years and years and years, and I'm excited to use them, especially on my new pathway that I just installed right over in my orchard garden. So these guys will they will brighten the area anywhere from 3 to 6 feet. So I'm probably going to put them about 4 feet apart, and I think I'm going to stagger them. I got 12 of them. I'm probably going to stagger them along my pathway. So it's not going to cover my entire orchard garden pathway, but I think it's going to cover a lot of it, and I'll see how I like them, and see how I like how they work. So the cool thing about these is, this is the battery that soaks in the sun, but basically these lights are dim for most of the time until it senses motion, and then once it senses motion, it gets a little bit brighter. And so you can basically turn on the pathway light as you walk through, which I just think is so fun. And I kind of want to see if Monty will turn on the pathway light as he walks through. I just thought that would be really neat. So these are the first thing that I got from Hoselink. I will put all the links in the description down below. But I just think that they're going to be really fun. These guys you can also install in 2 different heights, either 19 inches, or you can make them shorter for 13 inches. And I don't know, I'm going to play around with it a little bit and see what I like. I'm guessing I'm going to like the 13 inches a little bit more. but of course I've never used pathway lights, so we'll see. The next solar lights that I got from Hoselink, I'm super excited about, because these guys are actually going in my dry creek bed. I am so interested to see how this is going to look once I put them in my dry creek bed. And don't worry, I will definitely get shots of all of these lights in the evening. I just want to put them up now so that they can soak in all the sunlight so that they can work this evening. But these are in-ground spotlights, and they're supposed to be a little bit more gentle light than like the regular spotlights, the other kind of spotlights that I have on my trees. And I think they're even supposed to be a gentler, dimmer light than the pathway lights. But these guys just are supposed to give kind of a wash. Either you can kind of put it on a wall or you can put it underneath a tree. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys in my dry creek bed. And what that's going to do is kind of just give the illusion of like, I don't want to say water being there. I was talking to Michael Glasstone about this, and he said I definitely had to light up my dry creek bed. But basically it's going to bring some nighttime interest to my dry creek bed and almost make it look like there's water in there. And I know it doesn't. Eventually we're going to put boulder fountains, water fountains in the dry creek bed. So there's not actual water. It's not a running creek bed or anything like that. We can't do that because that's where all our water drains in that area. It's right next to our leach field, and we don't want to put excess water in that area. But I think having these spotlights in the dry creek bed, especially around the big boulders that I have in there, I think this is just going to give it some dimension and some interest. And I'm just so excited to just to see how it's going to look and how it's going to basically light up the area. Now, the cool thing about these solar lights, we don't have power to our center island. We have areas where we can connect power, but we just haven't actually done it yet. We are eventually going to do it, but I'm just really happy about solar lights because I don't have to worry about it. I basically put these lights wherever I want, and I don't have to worry about where I'm connected to power or not. So that's the cool thing. That's the thing that, of course, makes solar lights so easy. But the fact that the Hoselink ones are actually good and they're actually bright. I have a picture. Let me show you this picture of my October Glory maple with the spotlight on it. Like it looks like a regular, plugged in light. It's really, really beautiful. So they are really great spotlights, and I love them, and I'm excited to have even more in my garden. And then the third type of solar lights that I got to try out in my garden, these are just for fun. These are just because they're pretty. They're called the Crackle Solar Jar Light Crackle Glass Lantern, and I just thought these were so pretty, and this was like an add-on. This is obviously just for fun. Isn't this pretty? Oh my goodness, I love it so much. So here's the solar cell on top right there. And I was trying to decide where I was going to use these. I was thinking maybe I could hang them in the gazebo. Maybe I could hang them underneath my orange trees. But then I thought, I'm planning to redecorate my my greenhouse coming up pretty soon. And wouldn't these be pretty? Like, even just sitting around in the greenhouse, they're flat on the bottom, so you can sit them on tables and stuff like that. It shows pictures of that on the website. And so I just thought having these around the greenhouse would just be so pretty. And they're going to get plenty of sunlight during the day, so they're going to kind of glow in the greenhouse at night, which I just think is going to be gorgeous. So I'm really excited about this haul. Thank you so much to Hoselink for sending these out to me. And if you want to get your own solar lights, get them this month, because this is when they have their discount. I think it's a 15% discount. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go put everything where it needs to be and let it soak in, let all the lights soak in, and then I'll come back later tonight and I'll show you guys as it gets dark. I'll show you them all lit up. So let me give you all a closer look at the garden path lights. These guys right here, they come with basically 3 parts. And then also your little stake that you put in the ground. It's really easy. You just push in, no big deal. But basically these guys are really cool because you can either put these 2 together and have a very tall light just like that, or you can leave the middle piece out and just do that, and then have a little bit shorter one, which of course is not going to spread the light as far. I actually think I like this shorter size. This is how I would imagine pathway lights in my garden. So this is what I'm gonna do. And then right at the bottom here is the on off switch. So if you just wanted to turn them off, like say you only wanted them on during the summer when you're outside or when you're having parties or something like that, you can turn it on and off just like that. Really, really easy. So I'm going to take these, like I said, I have 12, and I'm going to go put them in my pathway right over here. Okay, so there's the pathway lights installed. Now, I didn't put them in perfectly because I'm sure I'm probably going to move them a little bit once nightfall comes and I can really see how much light spreads on the pathway. But I kind of just staggered them, you know, side to side. If you look over here, we have this one, that one in the Nepeta, that one over there, and that one in the Calliophis, that one over there, and then one more over by the yarrow. So kind of just spread, but I just think it's going to be really fun to walk through here and have the lights turn on, right? Won't that be fun? So we'll see how this looks at night, but right now let me go ahead and put the lights in the dry creek bed. Okay, so here are the solar ground lights. These are the ones that are going to go in my dry creek bed, and what they have is they have these prongs on the back that are easily removed, just like, well, not as easy with one hand. Hold on. There we go. So they're easily removed just like that, and that just secures them into the ground, and then they have their on-off switch just like that. What I'm going to do though is, because I don't know exactly where I want to place them in the dry creek bed, I want to wait until it's nighttime and I can really figure them out. I'm just going to lay them like this throughout the bed, and once it's dark and I can really see how the light's shining, I can kind of move them, and then I will secure them, because underneath this dry creek bed is landscape fabric, and to get those prongs into the ground I'm gonna have to cut little slits in the landscape fabric, and I don't want to cut the slits when I don't need to. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna go place them, and then I'll come back at night when we can actually see the lights and see how it looks. Okay, you guys, so it is almost 6 o'clock. The sun is just setting. You can see right over there. But I thought I would take this opportunity to introduce you all to some new friends that we have here. If you guys remember, about, I would say probably about a year ago, we adopted some barn cats. We rescued them from a very unsafe situation. We brought them here. I tried to kind of keep them in the area, but they ended up running away. I've actually seen one of them running around over on the fence over there. But since then, we had a cat that gave birth to babies on our roof underneath one of our eaves, if you guys can believe it. Oh my goodness. It was absolutely crazy. I was so scared for them. I thought they were going to fall off. 3 of the kittens ended up surviving, and I have been feeding them. And I think we have 3 new barn cats that have been living outside. I've recently bought them a heated house. I've contacted a foundation to get them spayed and neutered. Can you see there's another one over there? So I wanted to introduce them to you guys. So this one right here is Oreo. He is the alpha, and he is by far the most friendly. They sleep. I've put towels right there. You can see Monty. They sleep right there. They sleep right there. They used to sleep up on the roof. Thank goodness they've come down off of the roof. Hold on. Come here, baby. They're scared because I'm talking now. Come here. Come on. There you go. There you go. So this is Oreo. He's the sweetest. He won't let me quite touch him, but he lets me get pretty darn close. And then Oscar is the second most. There's Oscar. Come here, baby. Come on. So this is Oscar. And then the third one is M&M. That's M&M. Look at her name is Mrs. Mustache. We think she's a girl. We're not totally sure. So we initially named her Mr. Mustache, but we think she's a girl, so her new name is Mrs. Mustache. Okay, let me go inside so they'll come out and eat. Come here, babies. And we've been feeding them on the table right here, just so that Monty doesn't come out and eat their food. So they get the benefit of eating on the dinner table. Okay, let me see if the other ones come out. There's Oscar, and here comes M&M. So yeah, we apparently have barn cats. I've been feeding them. I have a litter box for them. I'm gonna trap them and get them spayed and neutered. And yeah, hopefully they'll keep the rats and the mice at bay. Let me show you guys a picture of them sleeping. Isn't that the cutest thing? I mean, it's so fun. My mom thinks they're gonna end up inside. I am not gonna bring them inside, right? Because they're outdoor cats and all that kind of stuff. And they don't have any shots or anything. But I just wanted to introduce you guys. Aren't they cute? Okay, the sun is down. It is officially dark, or I should say getting there, but the dry creek beds were the first ones to turn on, and they look so good, the dry creek bed lights. Oh my goodness, I love these. I want more, not too many more. I have 6 in here right now. Here's one right here. I think maybe like 3 more would be perfect. Don't these look good? They're not too much. Let me go back from the front. It's not too much light, right? But it's just enough to kind of like feature the dry creek bed at night. I just think it's beautiful. And it's not coming across on camera as good as it is where I'm standing. Let's see if I can focus. Oh, look, that's better. Please excuse the goats next door. It's feeding time. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so here are the pathway lights, and they're dim right now. And let me walk by them so you guys can see them turn on. Oh, that one has got me. Okay, now it's very dark. One more look at the dry creek bed, but I am standing in the gazebo right now, so you can see the view. Like if we're sitting here by the fire or something, this is the view of the gazebo or the dry creek bed from the gazebo. It looks beautiful. I think I need to move the front one a little closer to the gate, but really, really pretty. And then I'll pan over and I'll show you guys the pathway. Oh, I wish Monty was gonna run over to the pathway. That would be such a good shot if he did that. Anyway, this is great. I love it. I need more of them. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.